And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Hey folks, I'm Tom Vasel, and today we're taking a look at my Charterstone. Now let me explain what I mean by this, but before I explain what I mean by this is a spoiler-filled thing, okay? This is for people who play through Charterstone, or if you don't care if you ever play through Charterstone. Because I played through Charterstone and I built my own board as I went through the game, and that's how the game works. But they make a Charterstone Recharge Pack. And in the Charterstone Recharge Pack, you can play through the game again. What comes in here is a pile of stickers and basically all the stuff that was disposable in the game. So the different various pieces and things that were disposable in the game come in this, and you could use the other side of your Charterstone board to play through it again. Now, rather than do that, I think that's fine to do that if you want. Rather than do that, what I did is I went through the stickers and I built my own custom board. I went through and said, okay, I'm going to make my board look like this. I'm going to put these stickers on this things. And then I'm going to play the game. So before we get into what I think about that, let's take a look at my custom board. Remember, spoilers. Okay, so here is the board that I built. Now, first of all, when you're playing Charterstone, these buildings don't mean as much anymore, especially if you're playing the way I'm playing, right? You could, if you finish the campaign and there's still buildings to build and crates to unpack, you can still do them. However, we found that these spaces can still be handy because they do give you 5 points. So essentially you can give up 2 influence and 4 coins for 5 points, or give up 3 influence and 4 resources to get 5 points. That's the way that we've been playing with these. But I put stickers on each section of the board to build itself. So in each section, I left the basic resource of that section. So for here, it's the pumpkin. And then what I did is I also put something that needed the resource of the section next to it. So the section over here has the basic resource of wood. So then here is where you can change wood into those things. I also have one of the minions in each section. So here you can see that there's a robot. I have one of the cube buildings in each section. So here 2 of the green cubes change into something. I have some other sort of way to get a resource. So here you can get a wheat resource with a influence marker and then something else. So here for the something else is 2 resources for 2 points and a coin. So if we go over here to this section, you'll see the same thing here. So you got a basic resource, which is a brick, and then the 2 bricks giving you the golem is in the same spot, so that kind of helps this person. Here, the pumpkin, because it's next to the person with the pumpkin. Here is another way, a place to get wood, the red cubes, and then something here we can turn in 2 coins for 2 resources of your choice and 2 points. Then we go down farther to the next one, and we can see I did some very similar things here, where the basic resource here is iron, and then it's next to a zone that has the bricks, so the bricks work here. And this is one where you can turn a minion in for 4. Here you can get pumpkins down here, the yellow cubes, and the minion you can buy here is the robot. And so that's kind of how I built each section on the board. So they fit together, but the way that this game works is at the beginning of the game, you're going to draw 4 of these, and I have all these sorted out too. I have some various things on these, nothing spectacular. I have some more of the minions on them, and I put some of the buildings I thought were more useful. Like I didn't use a lot of the buildings like this. This one I put on, but traded treasure in for 2. Buildings that were very specific because I didn't know if those people would be out or not. But I have some of these, and so at the beginning of the game you get 4. You pick 2 of them, and you have to cover up 2 of your buildings that aren't basic buildings. And by the way, some of these stickers are on upside down, but that's okay. They fit on the board either way. So these are the kind of ones I picked. I picked ones that had income on it. I picked things like this, 5 coins for 7 points, because I thought that's like something that people would want. Or other ways to get minions and points. I have a lot of those buildings in the setup. So those are mostly here. Even this one where you build another house, again, it's kind of for 4 points. 2 and 3 money to get 4 points. And so you can pick these things. And so you also, when you're picking 2 of these, you're picking which 2 on your board to cover up. And there's a couple things that you'll notice when you play the game in the full player mode. This track here moves more slowly because people aren't building buildings and unpacking crates as fast as they can. Instead, they're trying to get the most points. And there's a lot of ways to get points that don't move this track so much. Now, once someone's out of influence, it will move more quickly. You'll also notice that the quota section up here is used a lot more. especially with their, the cubes being around on the board. Those are used. All the different minions are out and things like that. So it takes about 90 minutes maybe to play, probably a little bit less. You probably can get a game done in an hour. Depends how fast everybody is moving. But that's pretty much my copy of Charterstone. Okay, so I played this game. Once I put this board together, I played with some people who had never played Charterstone and assured me that they probably weren't going to play through the whole thing. And I have played through the whole thing. And I'll tell you what, I love it. I thought Charterstone was cool as you went through and built stuff. I liked it. I liked Charterstone. It was good. It was a good game. But now that I have my own custom version of a game I built, it's a great game. It's a solid worker placement game. One of the things I like in Charterstone is the workers and the minions and things. And a couple of the problems I have with the game are now alleviated. First of all, the disaster cubes. I thought that was kind of a weaker part of the game anyway, because they don't feel like disasters. They're just cubes on a board. But now I have a building on every spot where you can trade one of the colors in. Now, granted, each person has the choice to cover that up, and I found that to be really interesting. Are you going to cover up that? Are you going to cover up your minion? What minions are available over the course of the game? At the beginning of the game, of a regular thing of Charterstone, each player can start with money or points, and then you can start with one of the minions if you want to. And I really like that aspect because you can kind of pick and choose a strategy. You get 3 personas. So I have all the personas shuffled in one big deck, and you draw 3 and you pick one that you can start with. You could even you could modify it to play with multiple personas, and we might do that sometime, like play with, hey, each person gets 2 personas. And so this kind of gives you a strategy. You're going to pick your area on the board, you're going to have your persona, and then you're going to have the 2 sky islands that you're going to cover up. And so it's a very unique individual thing, but it doesn't feel... In Charterstone, it was like I build up to this point. Here you're just saying, okay, what do I have? How do I win this game? And so at this point, you got to look at Charterstone without the legacy aspect. So take that away, and it holds up really well. I am sitting there playing a strong worker placement game where I have 2 workers who can go anywhere on the board, a bunch of minions probably who can only go in my area. It's a simple game of put out a worker or pull all your workers back. You're trying to figure out the best optimal way of getting points based on the sky islands, cards that show up, and everything else. Now, there's still some customization. If you look at my board, you'll notice that there's no names of cities and things. And my personas aren't named. I'm going to start doing that next time I play. I'm going to say, okay, you pick a region, you can name that region. You pick a persona, you can name that persona. And as time goes by, we'll still have a small bit of legacy in adding that to it. Now, would I have liked this without having gone through it? Probably, because I think Jamie Stegmaier is a great designer, and this is a pretty solid game. But I'm glad I went through the legacy aspect. And so I'm not suggesting that when you get this game, just rip it open and put it on. But if you are thinking about getting the Recharge Pack, maybe you want to go through and play it again. But I think part of the discovery is gone. You kind of know what you're getting into. And one of the problems I had with Charterstone, a minor one, but some of the really cool buildings got covered up. Well, my cool buildings are all on the top, or they're on the sky islands. So they're going to show up over the course of the game. This is my optimal way of playing Charterstone. I think it's really, really good. I like it a lot. Highly recommend it. Charterstone, I already did enjoy it, but now that I have Vasel's Charterstone, it's fantastic. Dice Tower Judgment, excellent!
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at DicetowerNetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.
Shut the door.